Witches. So today's video is going to be a little bit of a double whammy. Today we are talking not only about how to work with the full moon, but actually about the correspondences for tomorrow's full moon. So as a heads up, we are having a little ritual on Saturday, April 17th at 8 p.m. over on Patreon. All membership levels have access to it, and I will post the replay right after the ritual so you can watch it on playback if you can't exactly meet up with us at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's super duper fun. I'm going to be posting all of the spell ingredients and all of the stuff that we're going to be doing, or I should have already posted it by, I guess by the time you're seeing it. Patrons, it should be in the next day or so. But anyways, let's chat about the full moon in general. Now, last week we talked about the first quarter moon, and we're asked to kind of find balance in our lives before moving forward with our intentional workings, right? Now, during the full moon, the lunar energy is at its absolute peak, and it is said that this is kind of like the best time to do ritual work or spell work in general. So if you're gonna try or practice a spell, and you want it to either just be like really supercharged or are looking for a particularly fortuitous day to do said spell work, maybe try aligning it with the full moon. You absolutely don't have to. I don't think anyone is obligated to follow any system of practice if they aren't called to, I should say, or if they don't want to, but I love working with the moon cycles, the lunar phases. It just like helps me really keep my life in rhythm, so loving it. In my personal practice, there is not a set ritual that you might do during a full moon. I kind of leave it up to interpretation, but witches may choose to cleanse their home or space, take a ritual bath, maybe do some tarot for the month ahead, or even hold a sacred circle to pray or do a working. Now, if you're coming from maybe a Wiccan background, a common Wiccan ritual is actually called drawing down the moon, this is essentially where you take on the energy of the moon or the triple moon goddess into your body. In a coven structure, it is often performed by a high priestess. It might be performed by the entire coven, but usually I've seen it just the high priestess. And additionally, in Wicca, the day of the full moon, the day that the full moon is celebrated is called an Esbat. So you might see it called that as well. I'm not a Wiccan, so I don't call it that. If you call it that, that's awesome. Love to see it. Just overall, full moons are a great time to manifest, to put extra energy towards whatever you're currently trying to invite into your life. And I find that it's just like a really good like touch point in your life, right? Just to like either slow down, kind of refocus, regroup, or just make some lasting change in your life for something that, you know, you are struggling with, or just that you want to see improvement in. I kind of see the energy of the full moon the same way I see a white candle when it comes to using color magic and candle magic, right? So the full moon will definitely aid in any intention that you are putting out or that you are trying to manifest for yourself. So doing workings that are associated with that intention is just, you cannot go wrong on the full moon in my personal experience. So I encourage you guys to like experiment and explore. And I want to caution you guys against being afraid to make mistakes, because mistakes are how we learn. But anyways, each full moon has a specific name and correspondences that go along with it, similar to some of the holidays on the Wheel of the Year. Now, April's moon, so the moon on Saturday, is called the full pink moon, named after the blooming of spring flowers, which is really cool. It's also called the planting moon, the frog moon, the egg moon, the growing moon, the budding moon, or the fish moon. Saturday's moon specifically is called the Pascal moon. So April's moon is not always called that. Sometimes March's moon is as well. But the Pascal moon is the first moon of spring. So if you guys remember, on Ostara on the 20th had the spring equinox. That was the first day of spring, so we had officially moved from winter into spring. But the full moon was like on the 18th and the equinox was on the 20th, right? The Pascal moon being the first full moon after the spring equinox would be, of course, Saturday's full moon. So because March's full moon fell before the spring equinox, the first full moon after the spring equinox is Saturday's full moon, making it the Pascal moon. Now, this moon actually specifically helps dictate the dates of Passover and thus Easter and Lent. So that is why Good Friday is going to be today, technically, when you guys are seeing this at large. And then Sunday will be Easter Sunday, because that's dictated by the moon. So Saturday's moon is also in the sign of Libra, which is an air sign and a sign of balance. So with our new moon in Aries, we really ignited that inner flame, and now we are fanning it and feeding it with that breeze of Libra, right? We are bringing these ideas and our lives into balance and seeking out the connections we need to make in order to bring them into fruition. So the element of air is going to be really great to connect with. It's all about inspiration and communication, which I love. Personally is the hardest element for me to work with because I'm an earth sign, I think, but it'll definitely be worth it. And a lot of the things that we're going to be doing over on Patreon are kind of air element based. So this moon is really associated with courage, progress, fertility, abundance, prosperity, innovation, inspiration, change, new growth, adaptability, flexibility, things like that. I kind of see this moon as marking kind of a change in energy from kind of the winter, obviously, but kind of those energies that we worked with Ostara and Imbolc. I kind of see this moon as marking a movement towards the energies that we see most at Beltane and at Letha, so the summer. We're really seeing those first signs of spring coming back to the earth. We're starting to really start to vibe, I guess, with that energy of new growth, of new life. And we're moving into this area of expansion and work and hard work before the cold times of winter and fall. So it's very much in line with the things that we were focusing on during Ostara, but I think even more so the things that we'll focus on during Beltane. I really find that the moons really follow those same themes as the holidays as we move throughout the seasons. And that really helps me to like remember what I should be focusing on during each of the various full moons that I'm celebrating. So just a trick that helps me because I am very forgetful. If you're looking to celebrate this moon, maybe decorating your altar with colors like pink and red, blue, green, yellow, kind of those colors that are associated with the first flowers of spring. Any sort of flowers that you might pick, like if you go out into nature, which is something I very much recommend. Decorating your altar with things that you find out in nature, maybe some of the first plants, even if they are dandelions or like weeds or whatever, that would really work to decorate your altar is perfect. I'm going to be using stones that are like white and pink, being that it is the pink moon. So focusing a lot on like rose quartz. I'll probably throw some amethyst in there, selenite, clear quartz, stuff like that. Maybe some rhodochrosite, that would be cool. I like that. But I really encourage you to be creative, kind of let that element of air to inspire you on how you are going to decorate your altar if you so choose. In terms of activities that you can engage with, again, connecting back to nature, just really enjoying the fact that, I mean, at least for me, the weather is slightly warmer, so that's good. Engaging in any sort of creative pursuit that you feel called to. So that could be like starting a new hobby or trying something out for the first time, like a sport or something that you've been like really interested in trying, or maybe even going to a new place that you've been meaning to. So again, with Libra being that air sign, it is so much associated with communication that I really encourage you guys to kind of like go out and, you know, put yourself in a situation where you can meet new people if possible. I, again, want you guys to stay safe, so be sure that you are social distancing still. I know it doesn't seem like it, but we are still in a pandemic. But maybe taking some time to try something new. You never know the people that you will meet who may aid you on your path. The next one's a little silly, so bear with me, but I think it's just so nice to like blow dandelion fluff into the wind and wish on it, because not only is that kind of like a witchy thing, setting some intentions, but also can be like really healing for your inner child. So hopefully I can find some really nice puffy dandelions. I recommend also creating maybe a power song playlist, or otherwise engaging in some sort of like sound or music, maybe raising energy through dancing, or alternatively, if that's not your bag, maybe smoke cleansing your space or using the element of air to cleanse your space for this moon. In terms of workings that you can do, I recommend those associated with abundance, creativity, fertility, and change, as well as maybe considering beginning some of the shadow work journey that we'll be focusing on in the waning half of the month, and like reflecting on the things that need to be changed or balanced in order to move forward. So I don't think that there is ever a bad time to do shadow work, but it might be more advantageous to do it during the waning half of the year, especially if it is centered on like figuring out like what is going on with your spell work, or like delving deeper into your own personal practice, if that makes sense. So you don't have to do shadow work. No one is ever obligated to do that. But if that's something that you're interested in, maybe just doing kind of some of that self inner reflection on what you would have done differently in the situation the next time, or what have you. And then finally, this is a fantastic full moon to start preparing for Beltane. Beltane is on May 1st, so I'll be talking about that a little bit later this month. And that is kind of a very spicy, very vibrant fertility festival within the Wheel of the Year. It is my favorite holiday on the Wheel of the Year. And it's just so much fun. Oh my gosh. But it really just like reminds me that like summer is almost here. It's so cool. But yes, preparing for Beltane is also fantastic to do on the full moon as well. So that is my little spiel. Hopefully that helps you guys out a little bit. Let me know if you have any questions down below, and patrons, I'll see you tomorrow at 8. Bye guys.